Tom is with us in Indianapolis. Hey, Tom, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Thank you, Tom. Pleasure to be here.
Good.
Thanks for taking my call.
Certainly. How can I help, sir?
Basically, I'm married. Been married for 6 years, and I'm concerned that my wife may have some kind of a spending addiction. And I'm really looking for. I know absolutely nothing about addiction, or very little, so I wanted to see if there was any type of advice you could give a spouse of someone potentially dealing with a spending addiction, and if you knew of any good books or authors that I could read to really educate myself and become help me properly support my wife, and yet not enable.
Okay. It's probably a different track than I would take if you called, and I probably wouldn't follow that path, and you wouldn't either if you said she had a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction. When you push something past misuse into the addiction definition, then you need to involve professional counselors immediately. And so if that's truly what it is, if it's not just simple immaturity, run amok, and no boundaries, and no one's ever told her no, and she's just a princess, that's different than addiction, right? Addiction is I'm out of control. About 2% of the public are obsessive-compulsive spenders. They've had a complete breakdown, and there is an addiction to it that is very, very real. It's not, everybody used to make fun. You remember a decade or two ago, Imelda Marcos with all their shoes, right? And that kind of stuff. And and so are you seeing extreme patterns? Like she's coming home buying things she didn't even realize she bought?
No, I wouldn't say she didn't realize it. They were purchases that were hidden from me that I don't find out about until later. And then when I confront her about it, she feels bad. I mean, and it causes, it destroys the snowball and whatnot.
Yeah, it destroys trust, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heaps shame on her and makes you mad.
Yeah, it does. It creates a lot of anger, but then she'll get better for a little bit and then go back and do it again. And it's just a kind of a cycle of spending, I guess.
The way I answer questions on this show, Tom, is what I would do if I were in your shoes, okay? Yeah. And I don't think I would try to read a book to fix this. And I don't think I'd visit a website to fix this. If I were in your shoes, I would seek out some professional marriage counseling. And I would start it there. And then in the first marriage counseling session, I would bring this up. So that counselor, who should be a trained professional, by the way, and I'm a person of faith, so I'm always going to look for a Christian marriage counselor if it's me, because I want that worldview in the decision-making process that we use here. But different people will feel differently about that. But that's me, okay? So if you're going to do that, then you decide that. But here's the thing. If you're sitting in a marriage counseling session and you say, look, we've got a real trust breakdown, there's integrity breakdown, I get completely angry, she gets completely shamed and guilty, regretful, doesn't do it for a while, but then goes back to hiding and deceiving and lying to me about these purchases. I don't know. Do you think, Mr. Counselor, maybe she has a spending addiction? And let the marriage counselor ferret it out, and depending on what type of counselor you got a hold of and so forth, they may be qualified to actually work with her on that. But I would open the door through marriage counseling. Okay. And let somebody that's a pro look at the symptoms in detail, not some goober on the radio like me. All right? Because I'm no more a counselor than Fly the Moon, man. I'm just a guy, okay? I do counsel people. I do give them, direction on things, but I'm not trained in that area. I have had the benefit as a financial coach or financial counselor of seeing a lot of addiction over the years. And I will tell you, there's actually a 12-step program called Debtors Anonymous. And a lot of the people that are in that 12-step program are struggling with actual spending addictions. They're very real. It is a real spending addiction. But I've also talked to a lot of people that they didn't have a spending addiction. They just had simple self-control problems, and there's a difference to that. It's a maturity thing. It's a selfishness thing. It's a control thing, and all those kinds of things. And those are things fall under the heading of growing up emotionally and spiritually. And a good marriage counselor can lead her and you through either one of these tracks, depending on what is determined, whether this is actually an addiction. But an addiction is way over on the end of the spectrum, and it's going to take pretty extreme types of input, not just a little bit of change of information. In other words, Financial Peace University won't help you if you've got an addiction. It's a waste of time, because all it's going to do is aggravate you and make her feel bad. But if she's just immature and just doesn't have good self-control and needs a system that the two of you work together on, then Financial Peace University will work for the two of you. And I'll give you that. Have you been through the class?
We're in week 7 right now.
Oh.
Yes. I'm very appreciative of the class, and we're trying to get on the same page.
Has she entered into the whole budget process with you?
Yes, she's in the process, and that's where it kind of manifested itself as more than just, to me at least, as improper spending, because she would agree to the budget, and then later on it would...
So during this 7 weeks, she's agreed to a budget and then goes out and spends otherwise?
Yes.
And doesn't think that's wrong?
When confronted, she does. But then it's like, okay, so how do we fix this? How do we stay on track?
Yeah, okay.
And,
I'm going to go back to my original suggestion then. You guys need to see a pro.
Yeah. All right.
Are you in a good church?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Ask your pastor for a recommendation of a good Christian marriage counselor.
All right.
And that's somebody that's licensed, that's been trained, okay?
Yep.
That can look at you guys and go, okay, this has got all of these symptoms, and these are the breakdowns. And then, because it sounds like that there is something broken, because she's sitting across the budgeting table from you making a promise, and then a week later breaks that promise. That's an integrity breakdown at such a deep level that you may be facing what you're afraid of. So, yeah, you guys need some help. That's what it comes down to. And it's beyond Financial Peace University. It's beyond Dave Ramsey on a radio call. And I'm glad you're seeing it. I'm glad you're loving your wife well, and you walk with her through helping her find what's broken, and with God's help, create some healing. Very cool. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Tom is in New York. Hi, Tom. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm currently a college student. I just graduated with my undergraduate degree, and I'm now working towards an MBA. And I'll graduate here in about a year from now, so in this upcoming December. And I was just wondering, if I should continue to, rent in this area or move back home with my parents who live in New Jersey.
Now or when you graduate with the MBA?
No, when I graduate, yeah, because the timing with the leases and stuff for the apartment that I'm currently in, I'll have to renew, sometime this spring if I decide to stay.
Where's your job going to be?
It's going to be either in New York City or Jersey City, so very, very close commute from where I currently live in.
How old are you?
Then why would you move?
I'm 22.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry. Why would you move?
The rent here is very expensive. We'll say the nice thing is I spend currently $2,000 a month in rent. But I do live with my brother who's graduated. He's a full-time job. So that's the nice aspect. I know it's $2,000 is very expensive.
What will you be making?
I'm not too sure with my estimate is about 90 to 95.
Okay. It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. So, but I didn't know if it's like, a good decision to tie up so much of my, income into, rent just for the sake of not commuting 4 hours a day or 3 hours a day.
Yes. It's part of life.
Okay.
Part of growing up is not living in mama's basement. You're a grown man with an MBA making $90,000. You don't live in your mother's basement.
Okay.
And that's just part of life. In New York City, 2,000 isn't bad, dude. That's not bad at all.
Yeah. Well, it's like 4,000, but I split the rent with my brother, which is
I know.
Yeah.
But
I had roommates up until I was married. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
okay.
and you have a reasonable life as far as commute goes and those kinds of things. ultimately, you may end up making the decision that $100,000 or $90,000 is not enough to live in the city. It may or may not be. You can decide that later. But as your first step following your MBA and following getting your new $90,000 job, it is not to move back home with your mom. No, I would not do that. I think that would be a mistake in a lot of ways. But I think it's just part of life, man. And then you got to start thinking about, okay, at what point am I going to, where am I going to be living that I end up putting down roots and buying something? But you don't have to decide that in the next 24 months. I mean, just get the job, enjoy the ride right now. You've done a great job.
I like that advice. I moved out at 20, and I needed some problems, Dave, and those look like bills. Because when I lived at home, I would spend every paycheck I made because I didn't have any bills. So I was enjoying life.
There you go. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Kathy's in Buffalo, New York. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. What's up?
Hi. I'm a senior in college, and I worked pretty hard throughout college to save up money for a car and just an apartment after graduation, and just for food and living expenses. And I had around $25,000 saved up for my car and just after graduation. But unfortunately, COVID kind of hit my family hard, and my uncle had to borrow money to pay for my grandpa's hospital bill. My grandpa and my dad. And now, they're not really giving my money back, if that makes sense, and I don't really know what to do about it.
How old are you?
21.
How old's your uncle?
I don't know, but probably 40, 45.
So this 45-year-old comes to the 21-year-old college kid and says, I can't pay my dad's hospital bill, you need to help. And you gave him your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, your family's a bunch of irresponsible people, aren't they? Yeah, they're broke, and they can't take care of their grandpa, and they come to a kid to take care of them. That's the definition of irresponsible. I'll help you with that. Shouldn't have been a question, should have been a statement. Okay.
How much money did you give him?
Because, hospital bills are, extraordinarily expensive, $15,000.
Good Lord.
So you give him $15,000, and what was the terms of this?
What was the plan for him to repay you?
I said within, the next year.
Yeah, and he said okay?
Yeah.
Where was he going to get the money?
The thing was, my aunt was out of work, just because, she lost her job, and then she was going to pay me back, once she got a job.
Where's your parents?
My parents, my dad's kind of arguing with with his brother, but, they kind of, the two of them are, having their own fight about money issues as well.
That's shocking.
Yeah,
oh, kiddo, I'm so sorry. You are in a mess. I just want to box your uncle's ears. And I wish you had stood up and just said no. Don't you?
Yeah, I just didn't want, my grandpa to...
They're not going to repossess your grandpa. It's just a hospital bill. They'll sue somebody for not paying a hospital bill. But they're not going to repossess him. Yeah, you got snookered by your family. Yeah, next time your family knocks on the door, you need to just not open the door. Oh, my gosh.
How long ago was this, Kathy?
This happened, maybe a year and a half ago. I guess, a year and a half ago, at the beginning of 2020.
Do you have anything in writing from your uncle?
Yeah, I have, an email.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound like your father is going to be any help because he's not got influence with your uncle right now because they're already fighting. Am I correct?
Yeah, because again.
So if you call your uncle and say, "Look, this is a mess, and this is gonna cost me going to college. You've got to get this money together. Go to the bank and get it, and send me my money. I've got to have this money." What's he gonna say?
I tried doing that, and then Because, like, the thing is, like, I tried doing that, and he was just like, you can go into debt. I'll pay you back, I promise. And, like, because of that. Because, like, that was also supposed to be, like, partial. Because, like, I pay, like, $10,000 a year for school because of, like, financial aid and then, like, food and rent on top of that. And then it's just kind of, like, I kind of had to put my tuition bill because of that.
What a butthole.
I'm, like, going to debt.
This guy's a class A.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to make a person that doesn't have character suddenly have character, and your uncle is a scumburger. And you realize that now.
Yeah, I knew that, but I mean, I didn't know going into the situation because he wasn't, you know what I mean? I never, like, my parents never really dealt with him financially.
The bad news is at 21 years old, you've had this very harsh lesson. The great news is you will never have to have this lesson again because you will never do something like this again because this has hurt so badly and put you in such a bad position. And so, I hope you haven't lost the money permanently, but you probably have because your uncle is scum.
Yeah.
Anybody that would come to a 21-year-old and ask for their college money in order to take care of their grandfather because you didn't go figure out some other way to do it is scum. By definition. Because if the worst case scenario is Grandpa, let me tell you, if he'd called me, I just said, Grandpa can't pay his bill. Call the hospital, tell him he can't pay the bill. He didn't have any money. I'd rather owe the hospital money than I would little Kathy. It's just a matter of who we're going to owe, right? So this is just garbage. It's just garbage. Oh my gosh, Kathy. So here's the thing. You have really two courses of action, and none of them are good. I wish I could give you a good answer. Course of action number one is call him back and say, I sure hope you can pay me. I sure hope you do what you said you were going to do. I hope you're a man of honor and a man of your word because you're leaving me in a lurch. And hang up the phone and then have low expectations because he's scum that you ever get this money, and you're probably not going to get it. Okay? Course of action number two is hire a lawyer and sue his butt.
Yeah, I'm kind of too broke for that. I mean,
No, you're not.
I won't be
no, you're not. Lawyer will take this. They'll take it because this looks like fun. I'm telling you, they'll take it for a percentage, and when he collects it out of your uncle's hide, he'll, but here's the thing. You'll be done with him forever. But by the way, if he's my uncle, I'm done with him forever anyway. He's not going to speak to you again once you sue him, but I really don't care because he ain't worth speaking to. This guy's a dirtbag.
I agree.
Kathy, he treated you like a doormat because you're a really nice, sweet person, and he thought he could get the money.
Took advantage of a 21-year-old young lady in college. This is making me mad as your adopted uncle. I'm your other uncle, the one that's going to kill this one.
Yeah, it's like really bad because it's like all of my other uncles are like hating this one uncle, and like my mom and dad's also like really pissed off. It's like
you got a mess on your hands.
Dysfunction all over the place.
It's not fair that you have to deal with this. So you have two choices: just lower your expectations and don't expect to get the money, or go whole hog and start throwing grenades with an attorney. That's your two choices. Make your decision and then rest in peace with whichever decision you rest in. Either one's fine with me, and either one will be great. I'm so sorry. George, one of the things we've discovered in studying family businesses is that the family business is never any more or less toxic than the family. It's never any more or less functional or more functional than the family is. A dysfunctional family cannot have a functional family business. The other thing that kind of goes with that, the parallel track for that, is there's a lot of data in our data here over 30 years of doing this, and even in the millionaire research, that indicates that to the extent that your immediate family, husband and wife, and your extended family, uncles, aunts, parents, so on, to the extent that people observe correct and reasonable moral boundaries with each other, to the extent that the marriage is functional, to the extent that the interaction with the grown kids and grandkids is functional, meaning that there's not a bunch of manipulation, lying, drug use, cheating, whatever, running around on it, whatever, all this stuff. To the extent they're functional, there's a high correlation with that and the ability to build wealth. There's a high correlation you can't build wealth in the middle of, if your family just puts the fun in dysfunction. I mean, it's just very difficult to do it. And it's kind of been the theme this hour.
Yeah. A lot of dysfunction on all these calls. And what it comes down to is you can't give family money. It just never ends up working out for you. I'd rather you be mad at a lender and Sally Mae sue you than a family member sue you, because that relationship is done. It's hard to recover.
But when you have a money problem of any kind in the family, but husband and wife buying a van, you have a money problem in the family. Uncle wants money to pay grandpa's medical bills. When you have a money problem in the family, it is never the problem. It is always the symptom of something else going on.
Yeah.
And so the very fact that this family system in that last call is set up in a way that a 40-something-year-old man can call a 21-year-old niece who's in college and basically steal her college fund. And in his mind, somehow that's all right. Or it didn't happen this hour, but we've gotten the call before, these parents who take their minor children's identity and go open a bunch of credit cards in them. And then when the minor children gets married as an adult and is 25, 26 years old, discovers that there's a whole bunch of credit card debt that their mom put in their name when they were 14. I mean, that's criminal fraud. Go to jail. Do not pass go. But people do it. And there's this thing that happens in some of our families out there that people make this statement. Well, you have to take care of family. As if that statement makes all of your miscellaneous ridiculousness go away. Like, well, I just can't. I have to take care of mama. You have to take care of family. You just have to take care of family. Whatever it is. I mean, yeah, I understand. He stole 3 cars. He does cocaine. He shot his neighbor. But you have to take care of family, But, people are just ridiculous.
Yeah, at what point does it just become enabling misbehavior?
Yeah, I think.
Mom didn't save up any money her whole life, and now it's our job to take care of her for the next 20 years.
And that's not mean, okay? It's if you want to take care of mom and you're able to take care of mom, that's okay. But this idea that you take this child's college fund, I just want to send out the Ramsey SWAT team for this guy, man.
Which doesn't exist, by the way, America, in case you're wondering.
We could form it pretty quick around here, though.
That's true. But that's just makes you furious to hear stories like that.
So here's the thing, guys. My point of this rant is that if you do not recognize where crazy is in your family, and every family has crazy in it, and if you think yours doesn't, it's you. So if you don't recognize where crazy is in your family and learn to put proper boundaries in place early in your life, and you don't teach, let's say you got a functional family, mom and dad are teaching a 14-year-old who later becomes a 21-year-old, okay, Uncle so-and-so's bad news. Okay, he comes around, you just run him off.
Danger.
Okay? Danger. That's right. Stranger. Kindergarten cop reference.
There we go.
Good. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta, you have to teach the danger of this. And it's just, oh, man.
Everyone needs to read Henry Cloud's
Until
Boundaries.
you fix your marriage, you're not going to build wealth. Until you set boundaries with your crazy uncle and your deadbeat drug son, you're not going to build wealth. Until you deal with the dysfunction in your family, you're not going to build wealth. You can't get rich enough to not screw it up with these people intersecting your life and you just allowing them free reign because I just got to take care of family. That kind of, it's just,
Do people think that they're being selfish if they don't help? Is that what it comes down to?
It's enabling from now on. And these people, the people on the other side of it, they're travel agents for guilt trips.
Ooh, that's good.
I mean, this guy, he just, Grandpa, you got to take care of your grandpa, you poor old grandpa. Don't you want to take care of your grandpa? You selfish little college student, aren't you?
Well, it made me think.
Smack you. Unbelievable.
How did we know he even used that on medical bills? Now I'm second-guessing this guy's integrity, going, who knows what that money went towards?
There's a car in the driveway, probably. No, it's a pickup. Oh,
always a pickup, isn't it?
It's always a bass boat. Wouldn't be a ski boat, it'd be a bass boat. Yeah.
You've got the ski boat. That's why you're saying that. Ski boat folk are different.
No, they're not. They're just as bad. Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you, this is just... But here's the thing. You can't outrun this. You have to deal with the family stuff, or you're not going to get ahead financially. You're always going to be brought down by the dysfunction until you've dealt with the dysfunction or put a boundary to the dysfunction and a fence around you to where you can work around it. You cannot make enough money to out-earn this. You have to deal with it. So there's a high correlation between the ability to build wealth and good boundaries and functional families. My grandmother used to say, when she was alive, she's in a small town, she would say, so-and-so comes from a good family. Now, certain members of our family would accuse her of being uppity, like she thought that meant that they were country club folk or something instead of the other kind of folk, right? And that wasn't what she was referring to at all. When I got to know her as an adult later, what she meant was they were a good family.
They had integrity.
That's what she meant. And you want to be around a good family. And there are good families. None of them are perfect, but I mean there are some that do a better job at this stuff than others. But oh my gosh, it's almost impossible to some of you have to just become some of you are listening and you're 19 or you're 21. You just have to become an adult and set up your own life because your whole bunch over there is nuts. And you just got to come over here to the side and just look over there and they're like something in a psychology book. Every one of them's got one of those things, I mean, it's like unbelievable. And so some of you just have to do that, and some of you just have to deal with the one crazy mother-in-law, and some of you have to deal with your marriage stuff and not be so dadgum selfish and power hungry and entitled and all those things, which Sharon and I have dealt with coming up on 40 years. And now I've kind of got it down with Sharon, though. I have figured it out, George.
What's the secret?
I told her the other day, if she leaves, I'm going with her.
How'd she take it? She might put out a restraining order at that point. Man.
Don't give her ideas.
Sorry.
She's
thought of it.
I have her convinced, George.
I'm no genius.
I have her convinced.
Well, here's what it comes down to. You've got to have boundaries, and you can't change people. And so at some point, you've got to just draw the line and say, listen, Uncle, he's just cut off. We just can't be friends with Uncle. You can't be friends with Grandma because it's toxic. And that's a hard thing to do, to cut off family.
And it's not about the money. It's about the fact that you stole from me.
Yes.
It's not the money. The money doesn't matter. It's that you mistreated a 21-year-old college student. You jerk. You unbelievable jerk.
I hope he's listening.
I hope I get that email back.
That'll be a fun one.
Hey, Unc, if you're listening, jump on. I'd love to talk to you. That'll be fun. Not for you. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I have a little bit of a pickle going on. My husband and I got ourselves into some major debt. We purchased a home when we weren't ready. That's one of the top things. And now in this season in life, we can't really pick up extra jobs. I myself, I'm trying to see if I can get something after the kids go to bed, but that time frame is kind of difficult. But we're in the red almost every month, even though we're making $200K on paper, less deductions of child support. But we basically have to choose what we have to default on to catch up and make payments to sort of snowball debt. So.
Defaulting is not a method of catching up.
I know. I'm kind of at a loss. I don't really know what to do.
How much is your house? How much is your house payment?
Right now we're doing a catch-up payment for $3,500.
What is your normal house payment?
$2,800.
And you make $200,000 a year?
Yeah, my husband does $450 a week on child support. So mine is that.
Does what? How much a week?
$450 a week.
Well, that's only $1,800 a month. That's not killing you.
No, it's not.
Okay. And the house payment's not killing you. So where's the money going?
It's all going to debt. We basically have nothing.
How much
left.
other debt do you have?
A lot. So we did some home repairs. In between, I've been in and out of jobs. I can show you that.
Wait a minute. Do you make $200K or don't you?
Now we do.
Okay, right now you make $200,000. Okay, so you have home repairs that you did that you couldn't afford. How much are they?
So we did loans.
Uh-huh.
So the first one was $30,000. The other one was $14,000.
Okay, so we owe $44,000 on home repairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how much credit card debt?
Credit card. Hold on.
Hello?
About 20,000 or so.
About 20,000. Okay.
A little more, maybe 25.
All right, 44 and 25. All right, and how much do you owe on your cars?
One is 13. The other one's 16.
Okay. All right. And how much are you putting in your 401k every month?
I don't have one. My husband has a pension. He's part of the union.
Okay. Are you guys really making $200,000?
On paper, we are. I don't know where
the paper is that you're adding this up. That's what I can't figure out.
So
you've got enough money to pay. You have enough money to pay these bills if you're making $20,000 a month.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm puzzled. I signed up for every dollar. But my thing is up, and I can't afford, unfortunately, the premium on that. So,
darling, it's $9. So bullcrap. Okay, if you make $200,000 a year, you can't afford not to pay the premium on that. So, anyway, the
we also have a $99,000 home equity loan out.
Oh, there's a detail. Okay. Any other details I left out?
Our cost of living is pretty high.
Now, is there any other debt?
Any other debt?
Student loans? Wait a minute. What happened to your phone? Hey, speak into your phone.
Sorry, I was just looking at the spreadsheet that I have.
Yeah, we'll try to keep your mouth near the phone when you're doing that looking thing. All right, so... all right, so yeah, sell your house.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you guys quit buying crap you can't afford. Because the home equity loan, the home improvement loans, and a bunch of the credit card debt are all associated with this house.
Yes.
Yeah. And the house will bring enough to pay a bunch of that off. It'll pay off the home equity loan for sure. Your cars are bad, but they're not out of control. But it's everything associated with this house. You guys look at something and then you just go freaking buy it. Home Depot must love you people. So yeah, this house is eating you alive. I mean, you've got like $160,000, $170,000 in non-mortgage house debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cray. That's where that falls under. So sell the house. Yeah. Yeah, you got to clear the house and clear this mess. And then, yes, you guys have to get on a written, detailed budget. You can do it with the yellow pad or you can do it with our little app. It doesn't cost that much. That's not the point, though. I think the point is your husband's not involved and you guys have never said no to yourselves. And you're disorganized and you've got to get up above this thing and start telling your money what to do instead of wondering where it went. You got on the call and you don't even know how much debt you have. You're having to turn and look at stuff off phone to figure out where you are. When you're this screwed, you need to know exactly where you are at all times until it goes away. And so dial it in. Yeah, you need to sell the house. Sure do. And I don't think you're going to, though.
Yeah, I'm just listening, and Natalie, I'm not beating up on you. I would just say this. You strike me as a person who's exhausted because you've just been fighting the waves of life that you've created. I don't know if you've ever been in a really choppy boat situation where you're just hanging on and trying not to fall over. That gets exhausting, and you're at that place, but I'm not sure you're fully exhausted enough. And I think Dave's right. I would reset with the house, but this will happen to you again if you guys don't get to a point of realizing that you've done this to yourself. You've created this problem yourself. So you guys got to fix whatever's going on inside of you that's making you long to make these dumb decisions. Better fix that, or else the house is going to be a temporary solve.
Yeah. and I'll throw out there, if it hasn't got, it may not have to do with your situation, Natalie, but there are two major purchases that we've lied to you folks in America about. Home ownership and a college degree. And the lie is that no matter what it costs, you've got to go get one to be successful. No matter if I can afford it or not, I've got to go get one to be successful. And those are both lies. Okay? There's only one way to go to college and do higher education, and that's a smart way. Pay cash for a degree that's actually usable. Don't get a degree in left-handed puppetry from some name university and go $250,000 in debt and end up a barista. That's thing number one, because all college degrees are not worth the money. Some are worth a lot more than you pay, not the degree itself, but the knowledge that you get. Home ownership, when you buy a house you can't afford, you get broker and broker. Broke people shouldn't buy houses. Makes you broker and broker. That's why they call them brokers. No, you should not be buying a house when you're broke. You ought to get your butt out of debt. You ought to have some savings, have a good emergency fund, a good strong down payment, have control of your money like an adult, and only then is a home a blessing. But buying real estate just because, real estate's everybody's, you got to buy a house, and you got to buy a house, you got to buy a house. No, they don't. If you're dumb and broke, don't buy a house. It's going to make your life worse. And so it's the same apple we're biting on with the education crap. Yeah. And it's like we've told people, no matter what it costs, no matter how dumb it is, no matter how out of control it is, go do it because it'll work itself out, because these two things are so valuable, a college degree and home ownership, that you can't make it in America without them. Well, by God, you can make it in America without either one of them, and you sure can't make it in America if you do either one of those wrong.
That's right. I heard her say, after laying out all of the details to you financially, she said, then our cost of living is so high, and here's what I think she was meaning, and this is tied to the house.
She lives in New York City.
The cost of living like everybody else we live around is too high.
New York City.
That's right. But this idea that I got to send my kids to the same school as everybody else, and I got to have a car like everybody else, that's a cost of living sometimes that we manufacture because we're trying to keep up with everybody else.
Yeah, that's a good point. That there's a difference between cost of lifestyle and cost of living.
Very different. And that's what I'm hearing is the lifestyle that came with the house.
Living is food, shelter, clothing, and transportation. Lifestyle is all the goodies around food, shelter, clothing, and transportation.
To live like we want to live.
Lifestyle's eating out. Lifestyle's a car that everybody looks at the stoplight for all the right reasons. That's a lifestyle. If you're getting out of debt, you buy a car that everybody looks at the stoplight for all the wrong reasons. They think you're in the wrong neighborhood. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So my question is, I did something very stupid last year. I went ahead and got a Tesla at 13%. My payments are $903 a month. And my wife and I didn't listen to my wife, and I did whatever I wanted to do. So now I'm stuck in this mess.
Man, that's like four dumb things. Tesla, 13%, $900, didn't listen to my wife. That's four dumb things.
Yeah. So my question is, we were thinking about getting a personal loan to pay the negative equity because I owe $43,000 on the car, but it's only worth about $19,000 to $20,000.
When did you buy it?
Last year, around March.
I wasn't aware they were depreciating that bad. I make fun of them all the time, but that's a lot. Did you roll negative equity into the deal?
About $5,000.
Okay. Where are you getting your number on what it's worth now? That sounds very low.
KB, what's KBB?
Yeah. Private sale or trade-in?
Trade-in. And it's because I use my car for work, so I'm putting a lot of miles every single day.
How many miles did you put on it in a year, honey?
About 30,000.
Okay.
It's at 65,000 right now.
Yeah, but trade-in is the lowest value you can get.
Yeah, I mean, private sale, but still it's not going to be like 5,000 or 6,000 higher probably. So you could get 25, 26 for it private sale, and you owe 48?
43,000.
43.
Yeah. And we have some money saved up.
How much?
About 15,000.
15?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll cover it, won't it?
Well, I'm down, 25,000 negative.
That's if you try. No, you're 23. I'm not going with a 19. I'm going with like a 26. private sale, and you owe 43, that's more than 15. It's 18. So yeah, but you still got scratch. What's your household income?
80,000.
Okay. Yeah, I would use the majority of the savings, and I would sell it private sale, and I wouldn't panic. Sell it for. I mean, you can find somebody that loves those things, and you know, get a private sale number for it, not a trade-in number, and then you may have to take out a small personal loan, $4,000 or $5,000. It sounds like, and then you got to figure out. Also got to figure out how to get a hoopty that you can drive as your penalty. What were you driving before this?
I was driving a Toyota hatchback. I should have. My wife told me to stay with it. I didn't listen.
How old was it? I mean, what was it worth?
It was about $25,000.
Where did that go?
Yeah. I traded it in for the Tesla.
Did you owe money on it?
And I rolled $5,000 negative equity on it.
That's right. You did say negative equity. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So have you had enough fun with these cars that you can't afford? I mean,
no,
buy something cheap, dude, and get your butt straightened out, and then save up and become wealthy, and then get you a nice car. These things are wearing you out. 5,000 here, 10, 15,000 here. They're starting to turn into some money that you're losing.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 2 words you should practice over the next, I think, year, and say it a lot, especially in light of this. It's yes, dear.
I agree completely.
Or you could substitute sweetheart if that works better. Yes, dear.
I agree, yes.
That's all I got for you.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. One of the things we've discovered at Ramsey years ago that has set us apart from the professional financial goobers is that we figured out personal finance is 80% behavior. It's only 20% head knowledge. The mathematics of becoming wealthy are really about the 6th grade level. If you can do multiplication, you can understand compound interest. And so it's within your grasp. You don't have to be a PhD in mathematics to do it. But the problem with understanding that personal finance is 80% behavior is then you have to think, okay, what affects behavior? And what you're going to always see woven through this show, and you've seen it in the last few callers here, and even the emailer, is behavior is all about relationships. It's not all about it, but I mean, it's one of the relationships, your marriage relationship, your kids, your grandmother wants to give you a secret gift that your cousins don't know about. I mean, see, none of this has anything to do with math. If you're just doing math, it's like $30,000 free dollars, yes.
Right. But check yes.
Check
as
yes.
As George Strait would want you to do.
There you go.
Check yes or no.
And so,
check yes.
I mean, mutual funds averaging 11.8% rate of return, check yes. Boom. Just like that. You don't have to think about this stuff. It's just a math answer instantly. The problem is that it's not a math answer. You have to anticipate and consider the relational, the spiritual, the emotional, psychological, any components of behavior. If you don't consider those, considering this whole thing is 80% behavior. In other words, the number one thing that screws up people's ability to build wealth is their friends and family.
Or them.
Or your personal behavior.
Yeah, it's you.
It's not your lack of knowledge of some sophisticated financial product. It's not that you don't know the secrets of the rich. It's your freaking dysfunctional family that put the fun in dysfunctional. And
now you're living out of that.
And that screws up your wealth building more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the perspective you have to have in putting money in its proper place in your life. And when you realize that money is a tool, as I say on my show, to create a life you love, money is the tool for it, right? But it's your life. Your life surrounds it, or it surrounds your life. I'm like, it is the thing that touches every area of your life. And when you just try to do math, you're trying to make it its own thing over here, and it's not. It is built into everything. It's built into soccer registrations. If you have the money to do soccer for your kids for the fall, it has to do with family trips.
That might have just happened.
It has to. It flows through life. It's the thing, the currency we have to live our life. It's not just the numbers. And so when you realize that, you realize, wow, it does touch every area of our life. And and the problem with it is it's us. We say that all the time. It's the guy in the mirror you shave with, is what you say.
Yep, that's exactly right. And Larry Burkett used to say that money problems are not the problem. They're the symptom of something else that's going on in your life. And so, including when I went broke, it was not because there was some colossal conspiracy against Dave. It's because Dave signed up for a first-class ticket on the stupid ship and went on the entire cruise. There's no question. I mean, stopped at every port on the stupid ship.
And said, yes, I will go.
That's it. We were there, baby. And so, but it was the behaviors that put me there, that left me open to, and the character flaws, for that matter, not of lack of integrity or
and
something,
I'll
but
say
other
this,
things.
And which Jade Warshaw just wrote a book on this, but your mindset too, right? You believed a certain way of dealing with money. You believe certain principles were going to get you rich. You believe this way. And so also shifting your mindset and learning new ways to handle your money. That head knowledge is important. That 20% of learning what to do with your money is still key. But why you do what you do with money is important too, which is the behavior. Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons I get so come down so hard on these people that are hope stealers out there running around going, well, you just can't. In America today, there's systemic this and systemic that. Well, there is. There's also systemic success. It's everywhere around you. Look, there's systemic wealth building. It happens everywhere. And it's the people that plug into that system instead of believing your system of socialism, anarchy is going to solve the problem, which is a bunch of crap. It's just you're frustrated and you feel stuck and you lost your hope. But don't spread that stuff and tell, well, you can't, it's impossible for the Gen Z. They're very frustrated because they can't be a millionaire. Yes, they can be a millionaire. They can be a millionaire by the freaking time they're 30 if they get their crap together.
Hey, I just was with a girl. She's 15 years old. 15 years old.
15.
Yep. Opened up a Roth IRA when she was like 10 years old because she started working in her dad's company and she started doing all this and she did the calculations. She told me she'll be a millionaire by 30. So I was like, well, there you go. Now, she had parents who were teaching her and helping her and encouraging this, right? So she's in an environment that's beautiful. But I'm like...
And so when she goes into some leftist communist college professor's economics class who says you can't do this stuff, she's going to hold up her little Roth IRA and go, ding, 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 ding.
Or scrolling TikTok. And we played a TikTok video here last week of a guy, and he's like, the middle class, you have to make $120,000 to be middle class.
Oh, what a moron.
And he walked through all the numbers, and some of you are like, but, he had like, well, and you only have $625 left. I don't know. And we were like, oh my gosh, what if you invested that? Right? Like, it's the hopes. It's the attitude. It's the attitude behind it. So I think you're exactly right. When you don't believe you can.
And when you teach other people that they can't, that puts you in the evil bucket. The hope stealers are evil. When you steal people's hope, that's what you're doing. Now, I've been accused of being a dream killer because people call up with bizarre crap and I tell them not to do it. That's not a dream killer. That is a nightmare avoidance instructor.
Yeah.
That's different than killing a dream. I'm killing a nightmare. So, but there's a difference in that. Instead of saying, no matter what you do, you're screwed.
That's right. That's right.
And you're not. You're not. You don't have to drive that car. You don't have to wear that shirt. You don't have to carry that purse. You don't have to wear those shoes. You do not have to do any of that to be a quality human and to build wealth. You can do, as a matter of fact, the less of a bunch of that stuff I just listed you do, the faster you're going to build wealth, because all of those things are consumption. And so, this idea that you can get away from, you can ignore your personal character, you can ignore toxic relationships, toxic work environments, and still get ahead, that you can ignore the fact that your spouse is spending money faster than you can make it. That's a relationship breakdown. You cannot ignore those things. We did not interview a single millionaire that said, I became a millionaire in spite of my spouse.
Yep.
I did talk to one guy. He said, I lost 110 pounds. I divorced her. But
oh my gosh.
Fix that. But oh my gosh. But he did.
She lost 250 pounds.
You can't carry, I know, but you can't carry them into it. You can't carry them into it.
That's right.
You got everybody's got to be working together.
It's hard.
These are things we know.
And again, That's not a hope stealer comment. That's to me, that's the challenge, that if you find yourself in a situation and you are married and you guys are on completely separate pages, let this be a challenge to say, hey, get on the same page, not just to build wealth, but your quality of your relationships. Because again, money's just a tool. The quality of the relationship will be better. Like, all of this fits together. And so it is. It's so crucial. It's so crucial.
Yeah, if you don't get the elements of behavior going, there is not a product, there's not a mutual fund, there's not a technique, there's not a TikTok video that's going to help you. If you don't get the elements of behavior, your spiritual walk, your emotional and psychological health, your ability to set boundaries with toxic people in and around you, including your family, your quality of your marriage, the unity, the fact that we're in lockstep and both working towards a high definition vision, dream that we want to live together, you cannot avoid that stuff. As a matter of fact, if you do all of that stuff and do some of the math wrong, you'll still be okay. But you can't do the math all right and do all that wrong and make it. It won't work. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
Well, just quick context. My husband is an addict. He, on average, spends about $6,000 a year on his addiction to tobacco and marijuana. We've had kind of a rough couple of months. His father passed away. His grandfather passed away. I'm currently pregnant with our third child and taking a toll on him. So I've actually seen his spending go up a little bit. Shouldn't say a little bit. It's kind of doubled in the past couple months. Last month was $700 alone on his addictions. Anyway, that by way of context, my main question is, we have a car payment. It's $600 a month. We currently have the cash that I could write a check and pay off the car. The loan is $20,000 and some change. And we would still have 6 months emergency reserve, like you suggest. My concern is, with his kind of out of control and erratic behavior right now, I'm afraid if I do cut a check, pay off the car, and we gain the $600 monthly to help with groceries and other bills, I'm afraid it's just going to go out the window, and we can't contribute to savings, and things are super tight anyway. So,
what's your household income?
Right now, it's $156.
Does he agree that he has a problem? Is he willing to get help?
He does agree, and he says he wants to get help, but I have to say, the come to Jesus talk happens about every 2 weeks.
So wait a minute. What? Okay, one more time. What's your household income?
$156 a year.
Okay, and what do you make, and what does he make?
I'm a stay-at-home mom right now, and so the whole salary is on his side.
Mm-hmm. So if you said to him...
Okay, you use language differently than I do, okay?
Okay.
If I was to say that my wife was an addict, that would mean that our marriage was either getting ready to end or she was getting help next week.
Yeah.
How long?
But you use this like it's part of the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been for several years.
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah, why, if you said you've had several come to Jesus moments and he's clearly not gotten the help, at the very least, have you had the conversation of, well, if you're not going to get help, I need to be in control of the money because you're going to starve us.
Yeah, I am in control of the money.
Then how does he get money for pot?
Right. How is he getting the money for drugs and tobacco?
He only has access to his paycheck, which goes into our joint account.
He has the only paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not in control of the money.
Well, we have a joint account that he has access
But when I
to.
say you be in control of the money, I mean
He does not have access
doesn't
to
have
it.
access to it because
Okay.
he's not well.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying.
If you're going to call him an addict, you're going to have to act like it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could just say, my husband smokes some pot sometimes, and he drinks sometimes, and it runs about $500 a month, and I'm not okay with that. That's a different statement than opening the call with my husband is an addict.
Agree.
That's what I mean by language differences. Because I kind of think your husband smokes some pot sometimes, and I think he drinks sometimes, and it runs $500 to $700 a month, and he makes $150,000 a year.
And
he can actually afford it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really killing your household unless his behavior becomes erratic and he loses his freaking job because he's, so freaking mellow from smoking dope all the time.
Okay.
On the spectrum, from what Dave said, where is he? Where does he lie on that spectrum?
I mean, if you want to call him an addict, I'm okay with that, but you're going to have to act like it then, for your sake and the kid's sake. You don't leave children in the home with an addict.
For years.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy.
Yeah. I get it.
So you're going to have to you're either going to have to reclassify this in your mind, or you're going to have to take some more severe action than you have been willing to take so far. Because you're not, if he drinks a 6-pack of beer or whatever, I don't know, whatever this equates to, I don't even know what it amounts to. But anyway, and it's not affecting, he's not drunk, and it's not affecting his work life, but you don't like it. That's different than an addict.
Yeah, that's the question I have. Is this just like Dave said, is it a budgetary thing? Is it a thing that you think, hey, you shouldn't be spending money on this, there's better things we could be spending money on?
You said his behavior's erratic. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I guess I didn't want to go into everything, but yeah.
Well, we're here now.
Okay, I'm happy to divulge, but was just trying to keep it to the point. And
well, the problem is here's the issue. Okay, the problem in the household was presented as there's an addiction in the household, and I can't tell you what to do with the car loan until we address the problem.
Okay.
Because the problem is, you're right, but you're trying to say, oh, well, not paying off the car, keeping some savings back is going to make this living with an addict okay. It doesn't.
No.
And paying off the car and working our plan, doing the smart things with it, getting yourself out of debt, using $156,000 to be debt free, living on a budget where you're not worried about food and that kind of stuff, because you mentioned food. And you shouldn't have a shortage of food in a $156,000 household, even if there's a $700 addiction problem. It's still, the math doesn't keep you from eating, right?
Well, it does.
No, it doesn't.
What are the other
not
factors?
Mathematically, it does not.
Tell us what we're missing, Megan.
Okay. Well, so just this past month, he spent $700 on his addiction. Okay. Our mortgage is $3,400.
Mm-hmm.
Your car payment is $600.
Mm-hmm.
Car payment is $600.
What's your take-home pay every month? Just so I know, I'm doing this math with you.
After bills, after everything.
No. What's the paycheck?
What is his check? What check hits the bank?
The check is $393. $3,900
twice a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You got way too much coming out of this check.
Yes.
You must be putting money in 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know he's contributing to 401k. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah. Okay. You guys got serious other issues, hon. Y'all need to sit down with a good marriage counselor, and you need to come to a conclusion that this is not an addiction. It is a use, or it is an addiction, and the marriage needs to come to an end, and the children need to be moved out of a house of an addict. It's not safe for them. But when you're making $8,000 a month take-home pay, and you have a $3,000 house payment, you are not out of food because he spent $750. Now, you are going to be out of food if he loses his job because he stays drunk all the time. So I can't tell what the flip's going on here.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.
brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Yeah, so I have a spouse that we just got married maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and he's super financially irresponsible.
You're just finding that out, or you kind of knew it before?
I'm really kind of just finding it, the brevity of it out, how deeply rooted it is.
What's that mean? Tell us what that looks like.
Well, here's a couple of examples. So he's behind on his child support because the job that he had was a contract job. And so they'll contract for a few months and then they'll be without work for a few months. Well, then he got another contract job and he got into a dispute with the guy there and ended up losing it. So his child support is in like arrears, and he could even, like, if they found out, I guess he could go to jail. I don't know what the process is for child support not being paid on time, but that's just like one thing. So when it comes to like the money, when he gets paid, he wants to go get his hair done or me to get my hair done. And I'm like, okay, we need to sacrifice this little bit of money so that we can actually take it and start paying off debts. Like, he also has a car that's in his mom's name that's out for repossession. And so he,
Wow.
he tries to keep it hidden so it doesn't get repossessed. And like, it's just
okay,
like
so
little things.
How long did you guys date before you were married 4 months ago?
Not very long at all. We kind of met and then we just got married like a very short period of time afterwards.
And how old are you two?
I'm 41. He's 52.
Ooh, that makes it worse.
Sounds like a story of two 20-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
I know, really it does.
Okay.
And you just, so it's like you didn't know all of this, and now that you're living together, it's starting to be revealed what's really going on.
So when you sit down and talk about it, how does it go?
He gets angry about it. For example, he just started this new job and he wanted to buy a shirt because his shirts from the job hadn't came through yet. And I'm like, well, let's get the cheapest shirt when we were at Walmart. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, I want to get this shirt because it's better than this one or whatever, which was a little bit more. And I'm like, well, get the cheaper one till you get, the one from the job. So every little bit of money that you can save and not spend matters. Mm-hmm. He's like, why do you gotta always argue with me? Why you guys gotta make a scene? And I'm like, I wasn't making a scene. It's like he always refutes everything I say. He gets angry.
You don't have a money problem, darling.
Meet EveryDollar budgeters Christy and Steve. Their life is chaotic, but their money is simple because they budget with EveryDollar.
Budgeting with the spreadsheet took a ton of time.
But now with EveryDollar, I can do a budget in 5 minutes.
And tracking purchases is just as simple.
It's so freeing to know exactly where your money is going.
It just takes that stress out of the day-to-day life.
You got this, Hannigan family. EveryDollar. Create your free account today.
You don't have a money problem, darling. You got a husband problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And there's part of this. Here's a piece of advice.
When you're arguing in Walmart,
right,
over a shirt, we know the marriage is in trouble.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But a piece of advice that you might try, because I don't, you still gotta try here for a minute.
Oh yeah,
a piece of advice is not having this conversation in the moment. Like not having the conversation in the moment that the bad behavior is taking place, but setting aside a time that has nothing to do, nothing's happened. You just say, hey, let's go get breakfast. Like it's just a normal thing that you're going to do. And then you say, here's some of the things I've been thinking about. And as much as you can put it towards you, here's what I'm thinking about. I'd really like to feel a little bit more peace financially. Some of the things I've been thinking about, right? And it's not saying you're spending too much on this, your child support's due, you're, irresponsible. Not that you've been saying that, but that's clearly the way he's feeling it. Even though he is irresponsible, I'm with you. But how can we have that conversation in a way that possibly he could receive it? And I'm not guaranteeing you that he will receive it, but that's a better...
The hope that you've got is you guys, the Bible has a phrase that says, where there is no vision, the people perish.
The people perish, yes.
And what happens is you don't have a vision for your marriage and you don't have a vision for your financial future that you're aligned on. And so if you're up above the problem, looking at the ideas and saying, okay, we want to not be in repo. We want to be able to buy a shirt and not think about it. We want to be able to retire with dignity. We want to be able to pay our bills and not have financial stress. We want these are our vision things. Okay, then what does those vision then lead us to? What principles do we need to implement? Well, we need to sacrifice. and we need to live on less than we make, and we need to be on a written plan. And in order to accomplish the principles, the vision that we've agreed to. Instead, you guys are down in the ditch fighting about a Walmart shirt.
Mm-hmm. Right, and it's not just Walmart shirts.
I know, darling, but that's a metaphor for this whole thing.
Right. No, I got you.
And so if the two of you can't rise up above what is your functioning, I'm not sure you are personally, but the stories you've told me, we got married in 30 seconds, and the way you've addressed these things and the way he's behaving, all of these are indicators of immaturity. Mm-hmm. And at least in those moments, you were immature. Short-term thinkers, not long-term thinkers. That's what maturity is. And so, and that's a lack of vision. And I'm not saying you are that person. I'm saying in those moments you were. I might have been immature this weekend, okay? So I'm not saying it's a momentary thing. But if he is, as a category, financially irresponsible and immature, that's a large problem. The only way you're going to fix that is for the two of you to get above that and have a long-term thing that we're willing to build together towards. If you can't accomplish that by the two of you talking about it above the problem, not talking about the symptoms, let's get above the problem. Mm-hmm. And if you can't get that, then you probably need to sit down with a good marriage counselor. And I kind of think you probably do.
I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she said, I've actually said, let's schedule some time to talk about it. And he kind of brushes it off or gets really adamant about and angry and yelling and stuff.
Well, he feels really threatened.
Yeah.
And exposed.
And he has a car. He has a car that doesn't work that's got 200,000 miles on it. And I'm like, well, at least sell that and get a couple of $1,000. Well, I don't want to sell it. It's going to be worth some money when I get it fixed up.
What you're saying, and I understand why you're saying that. Why it's not working is you're telling him what to do. And I get it. From a logical perspective, you're like, it's easy. Why wouldn't he just do this? Why wouldn't he do that?
He asked me what to do. And I'm like, here's my thing you should do. Don't ask me if you don't think I should give you my opinion about it.
Yeah, I think you guys don't know how to do conflict.
I think we ought to agree on some principles, and the principles will tell us what to do. The principles will say, buy the cheaper shirt at Walmart, or just wear one you got till the new ones come in. The principles will say, sell the old car. The principles will say that a responsible grown man doesn't short his own children. He catches up on his child support. The principles say we're going to sit down together and map out a life that has peace and sustainability and love and not all this angst and disrespect. He feels very disrespected, and you're scared because you think you've signed up for a bad trip here.
Yeah, exactly. And let me just add this. So I met him because I have two properties, and one of them I was Airbnb out. So I started Airbnb my property out, and he was like my first guest. And he ended up like taking to me and liking me and fixing stuff around the house. And then, we kind of didn't really date, but we got married shortly thereafter, him becoming a guest here. And I'm like, did he just need a place to stay at? Like, I don't know.
You're starting to feel used. Yeah. So again, to save this, you've got to get above it. Otherwise, it's not going to be saved, because I don't give you 2 years. It's
counseling is a must.
Max. You do need a marriage counselor in your corner. And they can help. Hopefully they can walk you through it, hon. Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life.
Ruth joins us in Los Angeles, California. Ruth, how can we help?
Hi. I'm calling because I'm at a life stage where I've come through a lot of transition. My husband passed away 3 years ago. And what happened over the course of time is he passed away, and in the course I took on our properties and that sort of thing. So I inherited wealth, or took over the family business, that part of it. And I lost a lot, or actually like all family friends, and I've had family try to sue me for part of his estate. And I'm in a place where I just need new friends, and I'm looking for people that have wealth and are interested in using it to reach out and make an impact and help others. But I don't know where to go for that sort of thing.
Wow. Well, first of all, you've been through a lot, and that's tough. And you do need those people, and you need friends. Did I hear you say you lost your friends?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I lost my best friend. She died the year before my husband died.
Okay.
So, but also what happened is all of a sudden friends expected me to give them money or make things, throw them parties, that sort of thing. It got weird.
Yeah, because they saw you come into a lot of wealth and then they got real attached.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I literally had to cut basically everybody out.
Wow.
Well, sorry, Ruth.
I'm sorry you've been through that, and I will tell you though, I think you do know where these people are. So you're in the Los Angeles area. You are still running the company, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't. It pretty much runs itself. Right. I'm basically retired. I don't really need to do very much.
It's not
and
hands-on.
It was that way before
Gotcha.
my husband passed as well. Exactly.
So first thing I want you doing is
I have something.
I'm sorry. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to start joining some social activities where quite frankly, let's just be really honest, where other wealthy women are going to be. Because now they don't need you for anything. And you're going to find some like-minded souls and people who understand you, and they're not, they're just friends with you. They just want to play tennis with you, or they want to play bunco, or
they don't want anything.
They don't want anything other than just it's a social thing. So, I mean, this is as simple as local country clubs and social clubs, and like you got to get out and meet people. And the only way to meet people is to get in those places where those people are congregating. And there's nothing wrong with that. The old phrase, birds of a feather flock together. Well, where those people are flocking, yes or no?
Why would I be calling you if that was an obvious thing?
But I think you're calling for ideas, which I'm giving you ideas, but where those people are. Where in the Los Angeles area do you live? Give me the neighborhood or the area of Los Angeles.
It's like Manhattan Beach.
Manhattan Beach. Okay, great. Lovely area. Okay. So, are there country clubs in the Manhattan Beach area?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a big dollar thing.
I know. Hold on. We're brainstorming. All right. So it's not a country club.
But you live in a neighborhood, Ruth, right? It's got an HOA.
I live with HOA. Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's Facebook groups probably in your community. There's probably multiple for different social groups. I mean, I'm in a small neighborhood and we've got a ton of them. And so I would start connecting. Go to the HOA meetings just to meet people in the neighborhood, because likely they are in the same level of wealth in a general way as you. And then you start joining those Facebook groups and figure out what hobbies you want to connect with people over. Or do you have things that you like to do for fun?
Yeah, I mean, just like what you guys were saying in the break. I mean, I love reading, I love writing, I like hiking and that sort of thing. I have a disabled family member that lives with me. He's my son. And that limits the amount of time I have free to
go out,
engage. Yeah. So I do have but I still, even in the neighborhood, I run into situations where people are asking a lot of financial questions, and that's uncomfortable.
You mean like they're asking you for money?
No, they're asking me how much I sold my house for. They're asking me how much the repairs on my house are. I mean, I don't expect to be having those kind of conversations with people that are friends. It would be more like, how's your mom, or how was your trip, your vacation, or that sort of thing.
Well, again, I mean, I appreciate George jumping in, and I appreciate what you're saying, but you do know where wealthy people are spending time. You do. You simply do. I don't know Manhattan Beach like you know Manhattan Beach, but, in surrounding areas, I mean, you've got more hobbies than just reading and writing. Now, you are limited, and I think this is part of the problem, or I should say challenge, because of your son. I mean, that's a challenge for you. You just don't have a ton of time, so you've got to make the most of that time. And so whether it be book clubs in certain areas, but I mean, where are wealthy people that are successful, that again aren't clingy and aren't looking for anything from you other than just the enjoyment of relationship and a shared hobby or shared interest. That's what you've got to do. You make a list of your interests and where are people hanging out, and you're in a very wealthy area, so it's not going to be hard to run into those people, but it is going to be some intentionality, like George said, on certain maybe groups and talking around the neighborhood. And then, listen, it depends on how much of this, the rest of your life, this wants to be a big deal. You've got a lot of money. If you need to move to a better area, You know, I mean, this is the stuff life is made of. You can't do this alone. You don't want to be alone, and you need this. And so you need to make moves to put yourself around those people. It's just you deciding it's time.
And here's a challenge, Ruth. What if you started the book club and you posted in your neighborhood Facebook group and said, hey, I'm going to have people over once a week. Here's what we're doing. Let me know if you want to join. That happens all the time, and it's a great way. When you're the initiator, amazing things happen.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Okay.
So
All
just
right.
put yourself
Thank
out
you.
there. It can be a little scary. It's, you know, as you get older, you're like less likely to want to put yourself out there. But, you know, as you just go grocery shopping or where you're out and about, make conversation with people.
Garrett's in Atlanta. Hi, Garrett. What's up?
Love it. So my wife and I, for the last 10 years, and I would say me, probably have been on the, originally for about 10 years, been on the Ramsey light, syndrome. Of the past 2 years, we've done a really good job of going through financial peace and really hitting the dead hard. In the last year, I've had a really good situation with my income as far as I'm in sales. So coming January 2023, I'm going to have a pretty significant bonus from some really good accounts that I landed last year. So in looking at that, we're going to be able to pretty much wipe out most of the debt that we have left in baby step 2, besides the house. And just trying to understand kind of with another large chunk of money kind of sitting there.
Well, congratulations. How much are you getting?
It should be probably pre-tax around $140,000, but
good for
probably,
you.
Yeah, so we'll see
what
what
100 grand clear then, and you'll be able to do some stuff. How much debt have you got, not counting your house? Because you said most of, sort of, kinda. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's around basically probably a little over $30,000. So
you'll be 100% debt free, nothing but the house, if you write a $30,000 check.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So why most of? So why the most of, sort of, kinda language then?
Well, I guess there's some things, obviously, my wife and I have communicated and talked about maybe wanting to do, which is potentially a small little cash house upgrade, right? Paint the house, kind of patio, small.
Okay, but that's
like that.
purchases. That's not debt.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I really, but being in sales, I want to make sure that I'm comfortable. When you talk 3 to 6 months, I feel like this commission, as you know, can go up and down.
It's not 3 to 6 months of income. It's 3 to 6 months of expenses.
Okay, right.
Your expenses don't go up and down.
And then obviously what account to put it in. You always say money market. Is that still the best option right now, considering the economy and everything?
Yep. You're not trying to make money with the emergency fund. You're trying to protect the things that are making money.
Great. And I guess I need to get on my SmartVestor Pro because I need to find somebody with a good mutual fund situation. So I'm sure you have a few of those. So.
Yeah, just jump online and do that. But here's the thing. Here's what I had to learn to do. The first time I got a check that size, it's kind of mind-blowing. And our human tendency is, okay, I'm going to have 100,000. So in our mind, we kind of spend 300,000.
Oh man,
right?
Or 800,000 if you're in the Deloney house,
right? And so you got to back down and just go, okay, I'm going to write down the number 100. I'm going to take 30 out of it, and I'm 100% debt free. I'm going to take 25 out of it, and I'm going to have an emergency fund, and then I'm going to allocate for home repairs, actual home repairs, and actual bids. We're not going to accidentally take on more home repairs than we have money, because that puts you back in debt. Okay? But you need your emergency fund in place and debt-free, and I'll call it 25. I just made that number up. I don't care what it is. But that's 55, which leaves you 45, and the kitchen and the painting is 25. Okay? And so now I've still got 20, and I can, start some investing for the kids' college and some stuff like that then with that. And we get to fix up the house, and we paid off all the debt, and we have the emergency fund all in one fell swoop. But if you don't freaking write it down, it'll blow up on you.
Understood.
And if a GC knows you have, around $50,000 to spend, they're going to put a $100,000 bid in front of you and make it really hard to walk away from.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff you can do to a kitchen these days.
Yes. And let me challenge you one more. Take 10,000 of that off the top and give it away.
Oh, definitely.
Give some of that money away.
Yeah, be tithing for sure, and giving.
Let that be a spirit of first fruits, man.
Yeah, generosity, the whole process. Jessica is in Minneapolis. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
Hey, Dave. I'm doing great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Not a whole lot. I'm coming up with a kind of a moral/integrity issue. I need to know when bankruptcy is the only option.
Well, I've been through it. Not proud of it. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But so I kind of put it in the category of divorce. It's something you would do after you had tried every single other thing to fix it, and it can't be fixed, right? Every possible thing, and then I'd wait a little while, right? So let's talk through your situation and see if I can help you. How much debt do you have?
I have $130,000 in vehicle debt, $54,000 in credit card debt, $30,000 in medical debt, no mortgage, no savings, no 401k. $110,000 a year is our annual income for our family of 3, and my husband and I are 34 and 38.
Okay. What is the $130,000 vehicle? You got a tractor trailer?
We do. We have an SUV, a diesel truck, and then we have a fifth wheel. We were in the oil and gas industry, and so we actually traveled with that fifth wheel. We do no longer travel, so now it sits, and I pay for it every month.
Okay. All right. Well, what if you sold all of your vehicles?
That's my concern, I guess. I would love to sell the one vehicle that's
I want to sell them all.
It's a lease.
I want to sell them all.
The one vehicle's a lease. The other, the fifth wheel and the truck, I would love to get rid of. I'm just upside down on them so bad, I don't even know how to go about offloading them.
Okay. But that doesn't make you bankrupt. Even if they repoed them, you're not bankrupt.
Yeah, that's my concern. I just don't. I feel like not only am I embarrassed by the situation.
Yeah, you feel trapped.
Yeah,
so let's work through some things. Okay. Worst case scenario, rather than bankruptcy, just quit paying the payments, let them come get all of it.
Okay.
And then deal with the repo. You got the money to do that. Cut up your credit cards as soon as you get off the phone. All of them. Don't even keep one. You suck at handling credit cards. Would you agree with me?
Yes, I do. Bad.
All right, good. And get on a written budget, every dollar, with your husband, and you two sit down and look at that. Now, let's start working on getting out of these cars. I'm coming up on a break. I'm going to hold you through because I've been as scared and stuck as you are, and I want to help you get out of this. So can you hang with me for a second?
Absolutely, thanks.
All right, we are talking to Jessica in Minneapolis, who is in a mess. $130,000 worth of cars, trucks, and fifth-wheelers. $54,000 in credit card debt, $30,000 in medical, $110,000 income. Wants to know if she's bankrupt, and we said no. But she is in a mess, legitimately. So, first thing is we're going to cut up all the credit cards and get on a written budget on everydollar.com, get the app loaded so that every dollar's behaving. Husband and wife are both in agreement that there is no life in this house in terms of lifestyle. We're beans and rice and beans, scorched earth until we get this mess cleaned up. Is that okay with you, Jessica?
Absolutely.
Good. Okay. Now, let's walk through these cars for a second. Car number one is leased. What is it, and when did you buy it?
It's a 2016 Lincoln MKX.
Nice car. Okay. And so you leased it in 2016?
Yes.
At the time, the sticker on it was 50?
Yes, 52.
Okay. 52. All right. Almost like I've looked at them before. Okay. And let's see, 16, 17, 18. How long have you had the lease?
We had it since December of 2016, so we've been paying on it for a little over a year.
Okay, 13 months out of how many months? How long is the lease?
36 months.
Okay. All right, perfect. So here, and I assume the lease is with Ford Motor. Lincoln Finance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what you do. You call them and you ask them for the early buyout because you want to get the title in your hand.
Okay.
You do not ask for anything other than that. The early buyout. This is like getting the payoff on a traditional loan that does not include all the future interest. It's what's the principal balance today. Do you follow me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to tell you that is going to be, for example purposes, we're going to call that $43,000. Okay. No, wait a minute. Your lease payments are how much?
$450.
Okay, no, it's going to be $45,000. Okay, give or take. All right, I may be off a couple $1,000, but somewhere around there. We're going to use that as our example, okay? Then you jump on kellybluebook.com. And you look up what the car is worth if you sell it to an individual, not wholesale to a dealer.
Okay.
Because we're not desperate yet, but we're getting there fast.
Right.
Okay. And let's say that you look that car up and it's worth 38. Probably not far off. Okay. Which means you're $7,000 in the hole in our example. Do you follow me?
Yes.
Now we need $7,000 and we can get out of this car. So where are we going to get $7,000? Are you late on any of this stuff yet?
No, everything is 100% paid on time.
Dadgum, your credit's sterling. Okay. So you might run down to the credit union and borrow $8,000 to get a $1,000 car. Bit of a step down. And $7,000 to cover this hole. Do that, get that loan arranged, but don't take the loan until you get a buyer. When you get a buyer, you give Lincoln you get the buyer to give you a check for 38, you get 7 from the credit union, and you send Lincoln a check for 45, and they send the title to your buyer.
Great.
And you're out of that one. Okay? Now, that's going to be a lot of work and a lot of hassle, and that's going to take you several months, but that's better than just throwing the keys into the snow.
Right.
All right. Now, second car is a truck, big diesel truck, right?
Yes,
and
2014 Ford F-250 Super Duty.
That's a beast. Okay.
Yes.
And what is owed on that puppy?
$51,000.
Got it. Okay. And have you looked up the value on it yet?
Yeah, it's about maybe 32 on a good day.
Is that a trade-in value or a private sale value? That sounds very low.
Private sale value, actually.
Wow, you took a bath on that puppy.
Yeah, it has a little over 100,000 miles on it.
Oh, you run the value out. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the, who's got the loan?
I have it through a credit union.
Bing, bing. Okay. Mr. Credit Union Manager, I'm now sitting in your office looking across the desk at you. Mr. Credit Union Manager, you have a $32,000 car loan, and attached to that, you have a $19,000 unsecured loan. Because if you have a $51,000 loan on a $32,000 asset, 19 of it is unsecured. Would you agree with me, Jessica?
Correct. Yes.
And we've just got to convince Mr. Credit Union Manager of these actual facts, in which case he agrees that I'm trying to avoid bankruptcy. I talked to Dave Ramsey on the air. He said to work with you and pay you the difference and put that on an unsecured note, and you let us have the title when we get a buyer. And the same routine. So you're going to end up with a $7,000 note somewhere, or an $8,000 note. You're going to end up with a $19,000 note for the difference over at the credit union. And all of these holes that you're in are due to dumb moves that you made. I've done dumber moves. When I do stupid things and it costs me money, I call that stupid tax. You're going to write some checks for stupid tax over the next few years.
Yes.
Okay. Now, got out of those two. So I just took $96,000 and I turned it into $25,000 so far.
Amazing.
You see what we're doing? Yeah. I think you're going to make it. It's going to be a pain in the butt, but I think you're going to make it. You're not going to die from this. Okay. Same thing with the stupid trailer. You had $30,000 on it?
The trailer actually is a large fifth wheel, and so I owe $65 on it.
Then your numbers don't add up. 51 and 45 and 65 do not equal 130.
Well, the Lincoln is a lease, so I only put the lease amount due on the Lincoln.
Oh, okay. You owe 65 on the fifth wheeler.
Right.
Same routine. What's the balance? Balance is 65. What's the value? Good Lord, nothing.
About $56,000.
Oh, better than I thought.
It's only if I sell it outright. If I try to go to a dealer, it's about $30,000.
Right. Okay. And again, who has the loan?
The same credit union that has the truck.
Perfect. Let's just increase this routine. As a matter of fact, I might sit down with Mr. Credit Union and go, dude, I don't want to hand you the keys for all this stuff, but I'm about to. And you get the $7,000 loan to get you out of the lease with the same credit union out of the package. He gives you an unsecured loan for $8,000 or $10,000 in addition to what you're upside down on the trailer and the truck to get you a couple beater cars to drive and to get you out of all three of these vehicles. Otherwise, Mr. Credit Union's getting ready to lose all this money anyway because you're getting ready to hand him the keys, and if you file bankruptcy, he's lost all this money. All the unsecured portion's gone to zero.
Right.
That's his best case scenario if you go bankrupt. And you don't want to go in threatening bankruptcy and like playing all cowboy or something, okay? You go in with your hat in your hand, you go, I really made a huge mistake. We're stuck. I thought I was bankrupt, but Dave Ramsey says I can come in here, and he says that it's better for you and better for me if we work this out. Would you help me, and let's look at this together? And that's how the conversation sounds.
Okay.
And you go in there humble, not threatening, because I don't.
Exactly.
But you say stuff like, I don't want to file bankruptcy. Help me not have to file bankruptcy because you're going to lose like your shirt on this, and then it's going to ruin our lives. And we don't want to do that. We want to do the right thing and work this out, but we can't keep doing it the way we're doing it. So you got to let us sign notes for the difference on these things.
Right.
Help me out here, brother. And this is how the tone of your conversation sounds, and then we're down to these unsecured notes, the credit cards, and the medical, and we just get on a plan and work like crazy people and live on nothing and start to work the debt snowball and pay off your smallest to your largest and work your way through this. Let's see, we're going to end up with 19. It's going to take you 3 years. You can do it. You can do it in 3 years. You're not bankrupt, but it's going to be a tough 3 years, and you can just shed your stuff of all this. If they won't do anything and you toss them the keys, deal with them in repo. You're probably still not bankrupt. Probably still work through it. And I want you guys to go through Financial Peace University. I'm going to pay for it because I've been scared like you guys are. I know how it feels, and I want to walk with you. So hold on, Kelly's going to pick up. James could too, and get you the Financial Peace University signed up. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Natalie is with us in Baltimore. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I was just tuning into your show not too long ago, and you were speaking about life insurance and how whole life is absolute junk. I never understood how or why that is necessary or true.
Okay.
I believed that whole life was better, and I started out seeking whole life, and so I ended up buying a policy for each of my 3 kids, and I have a universal policy for my mom. And the policies I have for my 3 kids, one is it's called a 10-pay, where you pay it for 10 years and it's paid up.
Yep.
And so I did that with my oldest daughter, and she has a policy. It's only $15,000 or $20,000 for hers.
Yeah. It's a standard kid policy. Yeah. The reason you believe this is what you've been sold. Okay, but let's walk through it for a minute. Okay. There's 2 kinds of insurance, as you mentioned. There's cash value insurance and there's term insurance. All right. Term insurance on average runs about 1/20th the cost of whole life or cash value insurance. In other words, you could have bought that same policy. Instead of spending $100, you'd buy a month or whatever it was. Let's use 100 to be an example. Then you'd spend $5 a month. So what does the extra $95 that you're going to, what does it go to? Okay. Well, it goes to build up a savings account inside the policy called cash value. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
And that's why you bought it, because you thought, hey, it builds up a cash value. That's awesome. All right. And here's the thing. The problem is not that. The problem is that the rules or the guidelines that happen to what happens to the money in the savings account. On average, it's making about 1 to 1.5%. Horrible rate of return. Number one. Number two, if you want your money out of the policy, you either have to cancel the policy or you have to borrow your own money. Now, you put the money in there. You put the money in there, but when you take it out on a loan, you pay them interest to borrow your money. Well, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
You wouldn't take money out of a savings account and borrow it from the bank, and give them interest to borrow your own money back. Not if you're smart, anyway. And then, but the worst part of, I mean, the fees are really high. The cash value doesn't build up for many, many years, but after 2 or 3 years, finally, it does start building up. So it's really heavy loaded fees on the front end. And then the worst part, though, is this: you got a $15,000 policy on this kid. What's the cash value in one of those? As an example.
Oh,
I'm sorry?
I don't even know what the cash value on any of them are.
I'll give you a guess. I'll give you a guess. Let's say it's $5,000. If you close the policy, that they'd get $5,000. All right, and we've just established that you've paid extra for that $5,000 to be in that policy. So you have a savings account inside that policy, right?
Right.
You paid a lot more for these policies than you would have for the same amount of term insurance. A lot more. Now, so that $5,000 that's in there, it's your money. The problem is this: if the person that the insurance is on dies, they don't pay the $15,000 insurance plus your savings. They pay the $15,000 insurance. What happened to your savings?
Oh,
it's gone.
Oh.
And the only way you the only way you have a prepaid insurance policy, or the only way you have a 10-pay policy, is that's not paid up. It just means prepaid. Because here's the deal: if you're an insurance company and you are issuing life insurance, as long as that person is alive, or as long as that policy is in force, there is a cost to cover them, because there is a statistical probability of their death. That after 10 years, the statistical probability of that person's death did not go away, right? So they still have a cost associated with keeping that policy on the books, even though you've already got it paid up. But all you did was just prepay it. So you double paid and triple paid to pay in advance for many years to come. And that's how it gets paid up. That's the only way. There's no such thing as paid up insurance. It just means prepaid. Now they call it paid up because that's the phrase they want to use. So what would I do if I were in your shoes? Well, if the people need life insurance, let's get life insurance on them. Make sure the life insurance is there, and then I would close these policies. And now, if they're ill and can't get life insurance, then you're stuck. And, they're stuck in the policy because their health situation doesn't allow them to change because they've lost their health since they got the policy. But if they have a need for life insurance and can get life insurance, then buy the life insurance to replace it, and then cancel this stuff and put your investments in something else that when you die, they don't keep your money. So you just don't want to go there. It's just a really, really bad place. So that's why it's just inordinately expensive. It is one of the worst financial products on the market today. The car lease, the whole life insurance policy, and the credit card are the three things that are keeping the middle class in the middle. And people they're just getting messed over. I mean, when you crunch the numbers on any one of the three of those things, it makes you go ballistic about how bad they are, about how rough the consumer is being treated in every one of those situations. So I stay away from it. I would only suggest, and for 25 years here on the radio, I've only suggested term life insurance. And I've never suggested anyone lease a car, and I've never suggested someone get a credit card. Because they hold you back, causes you to not win. I want you to win. Now, obviously, the people in those industries don't like me. Oh, well, I'll have to live with that. Oh, darn. Really wasn't signing up to take a poll here anyway. We're just here helping folk. And if who else doesn't like me? Well, that'd be the title pawning people and the rip-off payday loan people, because I tell people they're the scum of the earth. I mean, not only are you ripping people off, but you're ripping poor people off. I mean, because that's who does title. You notice that payday lending is not the rich end of town, right? Well, they don't need it over there. No, they're too dadgum smart to do it. That's why they're rich. Hello. So if you just keep doing stupid poor people stuff, you'll stay stupid and poor. I mean, hey, I've been there. I know what it looks like. I did stupid, and I've done poor. I know what it looks like. Actually, I've never been poor. I've been broke. Poor is a state of mind. But I'm not going to live like that. And I'm not going to continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again, then scratch my head and wonder why I'm still broke. So you've got to make decisions on how you're going to live and look around and say, okay, this is what wealthy people are doing. Let's do wealthy people stuff. And, you know, there's a few wealthy people buy whole life because they get sold the crap too, but not very many. Most of us, I mean, I got to tell you, in the financial advising world, in the financial coaching world, the financial counseling world, I don't know anybody that recommends cash value insurance except people who sell it. I can't find them. There's no outside people with that don't have a conflict of interest looking at it like me and going, no, Dave, you're wrong. You can't add. No, I can add. You keep somebody's money after they save it for 20 years at death. There's no way that's a good return on investment. It's just bad. And that's what this whole situation comes down to. So, those of you that don't like it, you don't like me, oh well. I think I'll be able to live with that. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
You can do this. You know, that really is the message. Whether you've got $270,000 in student loan debt or $27,000, whether you've got a $50,000 income or a $500,000 income,